My name is Baljeet. Welcome to my channel where you do as I say and not as I do. Behind me is my 1999 Mitsubishi Eclipse that I have been working on. And if you don't know, please check out my playlist for this car up here. I'll put a link up here for that. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to turn this Mitsubishi Eclipse into the Fast and the Furious Mitsubishi Eclipse from the first movie that came out back in like early 2000. And that was like my favorite movie. I think we all have a connection to that movie, being car guys. But in this video, we're gonna see if this car starts. I have changed the timing belt, replaced. Then I found out that a couple of the valves were bent on the cylinder, and I went ahead and changed that. And you can see that link for that video up here. I'll put it up here right now. And then in this video, I put the head back on, put everything back together, and we're gonna see if this car starts. Other than that, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and leave any comments before. Oh, what you think is gonna happen? Am I gonna blow this engine up while when I start it, or what's gonna happen? I don't know. I'm ready to put the head back onto the block, and I have prepped the surface. Looks pretty good to me. It's like very smooth. I know you guys see this little black stuff, but I think it's just a discoloration of the block. But like when I'm running my hand on here like this, I don't feel any bumps or any ridges or anything like that. It feels super smooth with my hand. I am gonna clean up that intake port really quick. And over here we got all the material, hopefully all the material. Here's the head gasket set with all the gaskets and seals and whatnot that I need. I got a thermostat, a brand new thermostat. I'm also going to be using this copper sealer. It's not required, but I saw a few people use it, so might as well. Just extra security. I got my assembly lube right here. These two items were hard to find. Not hard to find, sorry, but like they were not easy either. I had to like hunt them down basically. Couldn't just go to like the first store, you know. And then these items should be like just available like everywhere. Brand new head studs or bolts. I think these are just bolts, they're not studs. I don't know if they're studs or bolts. I think studs is when it's like screws into the block and then you put the nut on the top. These are probably bolts because it has the hex nut on it already, so I'm not an expert of any kind, but I believe so. And here is the head. You can see those shiny valves. Everything looks good. That's just like the yellow stuff right there. Right there is just like when I put that rag underneath to put the keepers in, the rag got caught. So it's okay, we'll be fine, or I hope so. And then the rest, everything looks to be like okay. And this surface is also like, wow, super smooth. Nothing like ridges or anything like that I can feel. So should be good. And this side looks good, and let's see this side. Oh yeah, this side is actually very clean. I think I cleaned it. This side is the one that I didn't clean, but let me see. It doesn't even look like. Maybe I'll just like run it razor blade really quick. All right, so that's what we're gonna do in this video, and I'm gonna get to that. So let's start cleaning up all of that, and then start setting the copper sealer, and then get on with it. All right, so I have cleaned the surface on top of here with acetone. I took a napkin, I sprayed acetone on it, and I wiped it down, and I can see it's like fairly dried. I don't see any like oily spots on here, and I cleaned that just came off the gasket. Like I barely had to scrape it off. So it looks pretty good to me. And then I also did that to the head. I took it outside and I sprayed this side with brake cleaner, and I sprayed brake cleaner inside the intake ports, and they're facing down, so if there was anything it would just like fall out. And I did that, and I did that on the, I mean, I don't really need to do the exhaust side because things are just going out, nothing is coming in from that side, but I did it anyways. I just sprayed brake cleaner and then, like, you know, really just like clean those ports. And then on the other side of like where the valve springs and all that valve train is, I really turned the head, like, you know, on both of its sides, and just sprayed it really good with brake cleaner and get anything, any like gasket material or any kind of debris or burrs or anything, got all of that out. So this is, I just wiped it down with a paper towel. I haven't touched it. So this surface is ready to go, and my gasket is ready to go right here. I have it hanging. Sorry about that. I have it hanging right here. I have the gasket hanging right here. I sprayed both sides with that copper sealer spray thing. So now I'm going to start. I'm going to put the gasket on the block and put the head on there. And I'm going to use some engine oil. I'm going to use my handy dandy, this bottle right here. It has engine oil that I showed you guys in my last video that I used, like, you know, keep stuff like that around to use. So I'm gonna use this to put engine oil on the ends right here, and then start putting the head bolts in there. And then after that, you know, just start putting the cams in and lifters and all that stuff. So you know, hope you guys are enjoying what I'm doing. As you saw, it was like a little bit of a moving around, but the head is on, and I checked. It doesn't like wiggle or anything. I heard it go into the dowel pins and everything. So now it's gonna start putting the head bolts in. Put some little bit of oil on it and start putting them in. All right, so I lubed the head bolts and I dropped them in their holes. Here is a trick that, or I don't know, maybe a tip, is whenever you're putting something like important, like that you don't want to mess up, like head bolts, little important, right? So here's a trick that I have learned a long time ago, was if you start to thread or spin the bolt like backwards, like not this way, but the other way, just slowly, like watch here, watch, you can probably see it there. Did you see that? Hold on, let me do it again. Right there, like you'll feel like a little click, and that means that the bolt is seated into the threads, and then you can start threading it in, and then you'll have like pretty much no chance of like cross threading the bolts. So I'll show you here again, right here. So if you look, and I don't know if you can listen, but you'll feel my socket. Oh, there it is. Did you feel it again? Let's try it again. There, I felt it like click. So yeah, if you thread it back, if you just spin it backwards slowly, don't put pressure, just spin the bolt backwards, and you'll feel it like kind of like click or like fall into like a ridge. And that is like my little, like right there, I can feel it, it clicked. So that's like little tip that I have learned long time ago, that like you then you don't the chances of you stripping or cross threading are pretty much 0 to none. All right, I hand tighten all of these. Now it's time to bust out the torque wrench and the sequence. These are going to be torqued in. I believe it's like in the middle, then here, then here, then the outside ones. But I have the diagram. I'm going to go get it, and then I'll put it right there, and so we can follow it, because that's the same way you torque down the head bolts as well as the cam caps for the cam gears, or the cam shaft, not cam gears. It's the same way. So let me go get that. I'll put the diagram up here. I'll put it like right there. I'll tape it to the firewall so we have it for reference. All right. Okay, so here is the template. So like there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that is the pattern that I found online. Maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong, but that's all I could find. Not that's all, but like I thought it was good information. Doesn't seem like it's fake or wrong. Makes sense. You know, you gotta start on the middle and move out and crisscross pattern. So that's what I'm gonna do. I believe it says you're supposed to torque them down to like from like 20 or however you want to start, like, you know, really low number, 20 or 30 pounds, and then move up to like 80 pounds, like, you know. And you can, then that's on your discretion how you want to do that. Like you can go like increments of 10 pounds or just do it in 3, like, you know, do it like 30 pounds and then 60 pounds and then 80 pounds, or if you want to go any further than that, that's all up to you. But you know, whatever makes you feel better. I might go in small increments, like maybe 10 pounds, just because I have the time. I'm not in a rush, and as well also like decrease the chances of me warping the head or any issues like that. So it will like go down like evenly, will like torque down evenly. So that's my plan, and here we go. Oh, here is what I found, or what I printed. So it says to torque them down 1 through 6, like the big bolts, torque them to 25 pounds first, and then the outside bolts, the small ones, the ones that are outside, 20 foot-pound, and then torque the big bolts to 50, and the outside bolts to 35. Then again it wants you to torque in 50 and then 35 pounds. And then it says again 50 and 35 pounds. Oh, okay, all right. I thought maybe I'm like repeating myself. Okay, and then once you have done that, finally use a breaker bar to turn the bolt additional 90 degrees in the sequence. All right, so 50 pounds, huh? That's it. That's all it's asking for. So I'm gonna look that up. I'm not sure. But hey, if it says 50 pounds, if I can confirm it at another place that it is 50 pounds, then we're good to go. torqued the bolts to 25 pounds following that pattern. And then actually you probably saw that I didn't do 6 and 5 instead. I didn't do 5 and 6 instead. I had 6 and 5. So I found another pattern on the Mitsubishi forum, and that was like the way that didn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me go from this picture because it was like pretty much crisscrossing, you know. So I did, instead of on this paper it says 5-6, I did 6-5. That's the only difference. So still you're crisscrossing. So I did two rounds of 25 pounds. Then I did 2 rounds of 50 pounds. Oh, I take that back. So I did 2 rounds of 25 pounds, and I did 2 rounds of 35-ish pounds, and then I did 2 rounds of 50 pounds. Then I did 2 rounds of about 60 pounds. So after the 50 pounds, when I turned it on to the 60 pound and I did it, it was pretty much a quarter turn. You can probably go back and look at it, and I was paying attention. It was pretty much a quarter turn for that. So we're pretty dead solid on this, and I'm pretty confident that this head is torqued down. What I'm going to do, instead of now putting the cams on, I'm gonna leave this overnight and then come back tomorrow morning and then retorque the head, and then see, maybe, you know, overnight something happens, the metal expands or whatever, you know. So that's my plan, is to leave it overnight and then come back in the morning and retorque the head, and then we'll start putting the cams in. I mean, the lifters, the cams, the rockers, all of that valve train up there. We'll start putting that together and then go from there. So far, I'm pretty confident everything I'm doing is correct. So hopefully it works. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow to torque it one more time at 60 pounds. Okay, so it is the next day. Shaved, cleaned up a little bit, and gonna torque the bolts on the head to 60 pounds one more time, and then we're gonna start assembling the valve train. All right, let's get to it. So I got the cams in, all lubed up. I lubed up the bottom, then I put the cams on. I put a bunch of lube on top. The seals look pretty good, and I got them seated. I'm just gonna put the cap on and wish me luck after that. So I'm gonna start just checking one. I'm gonna check one more time, make sure everything is seated properly, all the valve train is seated properly, and then I'm gonna start putting the caps on and torque them down. I don't think they require that much torque. I think I saw like 7 or 10 pounds. I'll double check, I'll let you guys know. So let me put the torque pattern up here for the caps for the cams, and let's go, let's do it. So all the caps are on, everything looks good, and I checked it here. The seals are pretty flush on both sides. So everything is good to go. Let me show you guys something right here. So I don't know if you can see it, but there is an arrow, like right there. There is an arrow that shows this way. So all of the caps have this arrow. Oh, I think this one shows it better. So there is the arrow, like right there. There is the arrow. So that arrow helps you, that, you know, to point the cap that way towards the cam gears. And then, you know, I took them out in this sequence and I put them back in this sequence, and now I'm gonna torque them down. I don't think the torque is that high for these, and I have the pattern as well. So I just wanted to show you guys that like everything is going in pretty good so far. So let's get these torqued down. as you saw, I torqued these 8mm nuts to the 10 or 9 or approximately 9 and 10 foot-pounds of torque, following that pattern right there. And then I torqued these 10mm nuts to approximately 20 foot-pounds of torque, because I'd say approximately because I don't have a digital torque wrench. Let me show you my torque wrench. I have this torque wrench and it has like these lines and these numbers, and I try to get it as close to that as I can. Like, 0 means that you're right there. I mean, it seems pretty accurate from what I can tell, but this is just my cheapo Harbor Freight Pittsburgh brand torque wrench that I've been using. So so I don't have like a fancy what do you call it, digital style torque wrench where I can get the torque specs just right. So that's why I say approximately, and that's okay with me. I don't plan on doing any like big builds or anything like that. So I mean, if it comes down to it, if I need it, then yeah, most likely. Or maybe you guys can help me out. Help me subscribe to my channel and, like my videos, comment, and that would help me grow and actually, invest that money back into the channel, buy better tools, make better content, things like that. So, you guys can help me out with that, and it doesn't cost you anything, just to click. So anyways, back to this. So I did torque that, like I said, these are about 9 or 10 foot-pounds, and then the big ones, what are the 6 big ones, and those are torqued down to about 20 foot-pounds of torque. So everything is torqued down, and next is I'm going to put the intake back on. I'm gonna go in the order that I took things off, and that was the hardest thing for me to do, was to remove the intake. It took a while, so that's why I'm gonna tackle that first and get that out of the way, because the rest of the stuff is just basically like right here. Like, there's things that I need to connect over here, there are things I need to connect over here, and then the exhaust manifold that goes over here. And then we can work on the last thing we're going to work on is the timing belt. But other than that, like, the hardest thing for me, I remember taking that intake off, like, getting it disconnected from the block was like the biggest hurt. Like, it took me a while. So hopefully it won't take me that long, because I kind of sort of know what to do, and then go from there. So that is the plan. So let's get to that. the intake manifold on. It was easier to put it on for me than to take it off. It could be part that I knew where everything was, or you know how it goes, where when I was taking it off I wasn't sure, but you know I was able to get all of the bolts up here from the top. You probably saw in the video how I did that. You know, some of it was like climbing onto here, like so I can look over, because the car is still lifted. I've been debating if I want to lower it or not yet. So I mean, lower it to the you know, off of the jack. And then most of the stuff I was able to just stick my hand back here and then like reach underneath from the back and then get those bolts on the bottom. Like even those the two arms that are bracing the intake from the block to the intake manifold, there's these two black braces, which technically you don't have to put them back and you'll be fine. And I'm very confident, like most people that do this, like they probably don't put those back on, but I was able to just get them on, like just from top, like I said, from on the top right here, and just like stick my hand back here. There's a lot of room in this area. There's a lot of room. I don't have big hands or big arms as far as like, you know, and I have skinny arms, so I was able to get my arm like behind there and then like get all those bolts back there. So now my plan is to put like all the little stuff that goes over here and get that buttoned up. Then I want to do the timing belt first before I put the intake manifold on. I mean, not the intake manifold, I take that back. So now what I want to do is I want to like put all the knick-knack stuff, like, you know, like I think the thermostat goes here, and then like whatever else, all the piping that is coming from this side, like there's like pipes that are coming from this side. I'm going to connect all of that as much as I can, but then I want to get to the timing belt first, because then there's still a lot of room right here for me to work, and I don't want to put the exhaust manifold on and then be like struggling and working around that, because I do have to put this power steering pump back on, and I feel like it will be much easier if I kept the exhaust manifold off until the last and then it will make it easier for me to get this stuff done and then put that back on. Might be the last thing I put on. All right, so I'm gonna get going. You already know my game plan, what I'm doing, so let's go. So got it all put back together. There used to be like wiring that the previous whoever was working on it, they like undid the harness, like, you know, patched it up. I put some electrical tape here. All the, you know, exhaust manifold, all this stuff is back on. I didn't put the back cover on. I did not put the back cover on because I forgot. That's my answer, because I was what do you call it, I already put I didn't take the gears off, as you saw. I just put the cams just like that back, and I was able to get the seals to go back, and I put the cap on top of the seals. So anyways, yeah, so now it's just time to crank it and see if it will run. All right, we're gonna try to start this car for the first time. Not the first, I mean, we're gonna try to start this car for the first time after replacing the 2 bent valves and new head gasket. The head gasket wasn't blown, but you know, I had to put a new head gasket on it and everything. So car's in neutral, everything. Let's prime the fuel pump a few times. There we go. All right, let's see what happens. Something is not hooked up. Take two on this thing. I guess I got too confident on the first try, so this time I left everything open on the where the timing cover is. I left all that open. I didn't hook any of the accessories, left all of that out, made double check, triple checked everything, all the timing marks. I am, like I said, I've never done this before, and I'm just going off of the information that I was able to find on the internet. The timing marks are a little tricky on this car, I will say. Like, rather than like if you're working on a Honda or something like that, they make it super simple. Like this one is like a little complicated because you don't know where, like, like if you have them like a little bit matching the little arrows or the notches, if they're matching down here or right here or up here, and then you got your engine is like on a tilt. Let me show you what I am talking about. So here is the, so I left the, let me turn on this light. So I left the engine, like I said, left the timing cover off for now until I can get this car fully started. So what I was talking about is, like right there now I have it like all marked up. So, so what I'm trying to say is you can like have this gears, they could be like facing down and then the notches are matching, or like up, or like so, and then again this in the way this engine is sitting, it's like, it's, you don't know where the how you say it, level is, or how level it should be, so you could be off. So that's why I left it off, and I didn't connect any of the belts. I just moved this power steering over here out of the way, and I used a bungee cord to keep it out of the way. And I did check on the bottom that it's still on top dead center. I feel like I have good compression when I turn it around. I didn't check for compression because I just replaced the valves, so I don't think that should be an issue. Other than that, I'm ready to start this car. I just wanted to give you guys an overview what I done again is, yeah, like I took all of this apart again and set the timing gear. I think my last time when I did it, the mistake I made was I think I had them matching a little bit like down there like this way. Now I like flattened it out a little bit, following there's a line on the where the valve cover meets the head. I'm using that as like the straight, like how level it should be. So I'm like this this is like level with the head, so hopefully that works. If not, then I can redo it, like all of the stuff's out here. And then I have done it, this is like the third time I'm doing it, so the more I'm doing it, unfortunately, or I don't know if it's unfortunate or not, or what, but it's getting easier for me now. I did this in like maybe like hour and a half. I was with me also spending time with my daughter, and like whatever she wanted, attended to her needs, and I was able to take this apart and put it back together in an hour and a half with distractions. Anyways, let's see if this thing starts. Good luck to me. Alright, this is going to be it for this video. Seems like I'm having some kind of electrical issue. I did start troubleshooting and checking continuity between like the the cam sensor and then as well as the ignition coil pack, whatever it's called. I'm checking for continuity already and checking for wiring inside under the steering column and see if there is any issues. So I'm gonna save that for the next video. I think this video has already been super long, so hopefully in the next video I can resolve the electrical issue and get this car started. I did triple check the timing, and the timing seems to be correct from what I can tell. So I'm going to make sure everything as far as electrical, no wires are cut or anything like that, and you'll see that in the next video while I go through that. So other than that, I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you on the next one.